All right, Ghana turns 64 years old today. But this independence that we hold so closely was gained by our founding fathers, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and other members of the Big Six. Ghana was the first sub-Saharan nation to gain independence. As soon after that, more than 30 countries rose to the call for freedom. I want to find out from the students of the University of Cape Coast, what do they make of this year's or today's independence? Did it make an impact compared to the previous ones? So what do you make of Kwame Nkrumah's statement? The black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
To start with, I think the word independent sometimes, to some extent, we don't get the understanding.
Okay.
I don't know why Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, or on what basis that he stood to declare that we are independent. Probably he meant that our colonial masters are not going to be in the country to manage their affairs anymore. If that's what he meant, probably fine, because they moved out and then we put our own people in authority to rule. But then if he was talking about independence as in managing our own affairs, then I think it's a big fallacy. As we
so
stand
you don't
here,
see it happening now?
I don't see it happening now. I am a firm believer. In fact, to some extent, I would say I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the development of Africa.
Okay.
But then as we stand here, I think it's going to be difficult. But then extrapolating for some years to come, I believe it's going to be
so you see it happening in the future, maybe 4 years?
Of course, definitely. 4 years is too close.
Too close.
A century, maybe.
Wow, a century.
Yeah.
So what do you think is actually the problem holding us back with this managing our own affairs? Because 64 years old now, we are old enough. You know, we've come a long way now. Some countries, I think we were the first sub-Saharan nation to gain independence.
Sure.
But you're looking at South Africa, you're looking at even Rwanda.
Sure.
You see, we are nowhere comparing ourselves to them.
Singapore and the rest.
So I don't know, what seems to be the problem if you know it?
Well, the issue is a lot, and I can stand here and talk about a lot. But then I think I'll limit it to managing our resources. Well, I believe that is what we've not been able to do well over the years, because we have a lot of resources. But in the first place, how are we managing them? Okay, these same people that we are saying we are independent from, we are not dependent on, they come and then take our resources and then tell us how to manage it.
Okay.
In the long run, they rather make the lion's share profit out of our resources, and we get the menial part. So I believe that when it comes to we becoming independent in the future, or what we are not doing right, I believe it's as a result of we not managing our resources well. You know, time is also a resource.
Yeah, sure.
And it all boils down to that. Okay. You go to our offices and then someone who's supposed to report to work at 7:30, by 9 the person is not there. The person will come at 9:30 and then there will be a long queue waiting for the person. He will still go into the office and spend 30 minutes, 1 hour before he starts letting people in.
All right, thank you very much, Asian. Maybe next time we'll find time to talk about
You're
things.
very welcome, sir.
Okay. All right, so that is Asian.
No, I would say comparing last year's independent to this year's independent, you will notice that in the last year's independent, we did it in a place that a group of people or people can come and witness it.
Yeah. It was actually held in the Barbara Stadium.
Yeah, sure. So this year you can see it is like it has been held at the Jubilee, where I think the ministers and the presidents are only people that are celebrating the independence. So I think it is something that's affecting
But we had some small group of people also showing up there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you compare
to last year's
own, the feeling that the citizens were having, being partaking marching and stuff, it couldn't happen this year.
Okay. So Eric, what do you also make of the government, the first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, his statement that the Ghanaian man or the black man is capable of managing his own affairs? Do you see it happening now, 64 years old?
Actually, no.
Why do you say
that? To be precise, Ghana here, we are not like making good use of our own resources. Taking the importation, for example, we used to import much, even with the nose marks. We just
buy them, then import it so that we will make good use of it.
Okay.
People used to wear the closed one where I just heard that one wasn't helping. That it would be preferable to use this than throw it away within 30 minutes. So I think we are not making good use of our own resources.
So in terms of technology, I want to bring this in. Apostle Joseph, you know him, that engineer.
Kantanka.
So comparing him, do you think what he's doing is actually helping Ghanaians to be independent?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
in what way?
Apostle Joseph is doing something that I would say similar to the white people. White people are making good use of combining goods and services to provide something that is, let me say, services. They produce cars, of which Kantanka also do the same, even to the extent of producing televisions, machines that are like automatic.
Other sound systems.
Sure. So I think Kantanka I would say he is the one making good use of our own goods and services to provide a service, as compared to we in general.
Jose, can you help us with this idea? Is Ghana independent? We are 64 years old now.
Yes, but then I think Ghana is still not independent yet.
Okay, so we are in the process of what?
Yes, we are still in the process of attaining independence. That's what I think.
Okay, like in the process, what process are you talking about?
I would say that we being still in the process of attaining independence means that we have not really developed yet, and that I believe that Ghana is at the stage of the take-off stage, which means that we are under the stage of producing goods and also rendering services, and that I believe that I know that Ghana we are the second country, highest country to produce cocoa and also export them. But then, so when it comes to that aspect, I believe our name is over there in the international market. Okay. But then we actually import more goods than the ones we send there, the ones we export there. So they're actually taking more of our money than we taking more of their money. So we are still under the process of independence. And when it comes to the services also, our students here, when we gain the knowledge and attain the knowledge over here, we don't practice them here, but then we go outside looking for job and we render our services rather.
So will you blame the government for it because there are no jobs?
Somehow, yes, but because the jobs are not adequate, they are not enough for all of us to because now the university is broad and the number of students that complete here is not the same as it used to previously. So now it has increased, so therefore the jobs has to also increase. There has to be a lot of jobs so that when after studying we stay here and practice and make our country actually develop rather than going there and giving our service to them for them to develop.
Okay, so what do you make of the government's policy like one district, one factory? Do you think it will be able to retain the students here, those who complete?
Yes.
In what way?
The one district, one factory
project. Yeah.
Okay, I believe it's a good project because if he develops a factory in Cape Coast here, meaning that in all regions or most of the regions after school and with the number of students that graduate, we'll be able to employ some at the factory, employ some at other aspects, other sector, So then, if the factories weren't around, if the factories were not available, meaning that those who would have been employed at the factories will be unemployed now. So then the factories being available means that there will be room for employment of the youth, which will also even help with crime rates, like it will reduce.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: does going in for loans prevent a country from becoming independent?
Going in for loans, I don't know.
Okay.
But then, if we don't have, we have to go for the loans. But then if we are not able to pay, that is going to make us not independent. But then if we are able to pay our loans that we go for, sure, we would attain independence. But if we don't pay off, meaning we'll be in debt. So whatever money that we gain from our own land, we'll have to go and pay back. So it won't make us independent.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Akosia. Maybe
You're
we'll find
welcome.
time and talk to you again.